What is up, gamers and YouTubers? We're back with another Graham video. I'm your number one Graham cracker, Jacob Hines. Um, yeah, Manu Raji pressed him on the at Capitol Hill, I guess. Or is this? Yeah, this is Capitol Hill. Yeah, somewhere in Congress. Um, so let's see how this went.
Let's talk about just what's been happening in the race this week. Because it really changed this week because Janet Mills launched her first attack ad against you.
Yeah.
So what are the ramifications of that?
For us on our race, we're continuing to run the race that we set out to run, which is to give the people of Maine a positive vision of the future, talk about the policies that we're going to try to enact to bring it there, and also build the movement to build the political power necessary to bring that about. The people of Maine are very sick and tired of politics as usual. A politics that is not focused on policy, that is not focused on, frankly, the material reality that everybody's living in. And I think it's disappointing that this is where we
Oh, that triggered Manu, dude. He's like, are you talking about me?
wind up.
You have to be expecting this coming.
Dude, I met a guy like I feel like I met a guy like Manu in college, and like I don't know, or you know, his vibes were off. Anyway, last time I heard from him, he called me like a loser or something, like the F slur maybe. No, or gay. I'm not. Let me go through my text. Nah, but he just sent me like a rage anger text, like. calling me names or whatever, and I'm like, I did nothing to this guy. Like I volunteered to give him like advice for his like political camp or student government campaign for president. Um, you know, and then I didn't care or really have the focus to put anything else into it, so I don't know. That tipped him off or tilted him. Anyway, I feel like I'm at, he's just like a selfish, like hungry bastard, you know what I mean?
Of course, but there was a hope for me that we were in a time where this country is so deeply polarized, where, frankly, there's just a level of almost deep toxicity that's happening. Part of me was hoping that we would.
The one who dies with the most toys wins.
Look at this amazing demonstration.
I want to feel more beautiful.
You've got to learn to get more pleasure out of this kid. You'll get more.
Sorry. I hope this isn't a scam religion ad, but
Not do that in this race.
anyway.
We're not surprised. It is a shame. But for us, we're just going to continue essentially doing exactly what we set out to.
I mean, I wouldn't know if you think how damaging this might be politically, because I read those posts and they're bad. Those posts are terrible.
Yeah, but people, we talked about this in October. I have really, I think, done not done a great job, but I've gone all over the state of Maine and allowed people to ask me about it all directly for months now. And it is, I think for a lot of folks in the state, to see this get kind of dragged back up months and months after we'd already talked about it, I will just say, the feedback we have received statewide is that people find all of this to be everything they hate about politics. And I think that's politically in the state of Maine, that is more damaging than the fact that people can understand that I, as a person, have transformed over time and changed, which actually I think a lot of folks can identify with.
And so you regret those past posts?
Oh, of course.
Sorry.
I mean, I've said that. I don't know how many. Yes, deeply. But in them, they were I was in a time in my life where I was really struggling after I'd come back from my combat deployments. I was very isolated, very alone, very disillusioned, very angry. And I think like a lot of people, I went on the internet to find some form of community or serotonin boost. Getting in fights on the internet was,
He's just like me.
And after many many years of kind of being back in society, reconnecting with my community, reconnecting with, frankly, like
Except I was doing that in college.
that has allowed me to really become the person I am today, which I'm very proud of. But I don't get to be who I am today.
So I guess the same time period, maybe.
I mean, you said you've explained this, but now you're facing a paid media campaign, and this is probably going to happen. I'm sure you're going to see each one of these posts become its own attack ad.
Yeah.
Can you sustain that politically?
Yeah, of course. Hey, look, and in the state of Maine, we go everywhere and we talk to everybody. Maine's a small state. It's a 2-degree of separation state. Literally everyone knows everyone. And I am lucky enough to be
At least Manu's smart enough to see where the wind's blowing on this, I think, you know. So he's playing ball, even if he doesn't like, even if he's I don't know, having some realizations.
directly. And it is the harder that
I don't know, or maybe, well, he is pretty aggressive. I just miss the Jim Acostas of CNN, you know what I mean? Who would actually, like, go to Congress and ask them questions they didn't like. Like, questions that, where he'd be risking his job. And he did risk his job and lost it. Bring back Jim. I mean, I'm not his biggest fan. I don't know what he's doing nowadays, but I wish he was still around, you know?
establishment comes after me.
Who's a comparable figure to him? I mean, I feel like Caitlin Collins and Abby Phillips are all right, but they kind of just let they don't like force those idiots to trip over their feet. They kind of just let them trip over themselves, you know, on live TV. Jim Acosta was there to give him a little nudge, you know, when when they had both their when they tied their shoes together, Jim Acosta would be there to be like, you know,
The more the people of Maine
whoops, dude, I made you fall flat on your face. I guess I'm gonna lose my job for this.
are going to recognize
Bring back those reporters.
and right now, not being part of the establishment is what we're all looking for, because it's the establishment that's brought us to this position that we're in.
I saw that you had an ad that you came out with today responding to this. Do you have ads planned for all these different attacks that are expected to be coming?
It's all the same attack. I mean, so yes, but that's because we're essentially pushing back in the exact same manner, which is that this is not really how this is certainly not how Mainers want politics. People want to hear about reality. People want to hear about the issues that are fake. They want to hear about healthcare.
This gets so much less views than like Zateo racked up more views. A channel with less subscribers posted a video. A channel with less subscribers. Well, I guess I don't know. This is more fun news commentary shit. But shouldn't like the views on this be comparable? Like Forbes has 5 million, Zateo has like 2 million subscribers, or maybe they have 5. I don't know. But I don't know. This is just more interesting for me than seeing, you know, uh, like Crystal has some bad takes every now and then, you know. And Mehdi is very, well, he plays ball with the establishment a little too much for my liking, you know. Like using the language of, like, I don't know. But I guess that's the audience he's aiming for. Like using the weapon of polite language as his main gadget. Whatever.
Hear about the fact that
Let's scroll back again because I lost my train of thought on what Graham was saying.
people, this is certainly not how Mainers want politics. People want to hear about reality. People want to hear about the issues that are fake. They want to hear about healthcare. They want to hear about housing. They want to hear about the costs of goods and services. They want to hear about the fact that their heating bills are currently skyrocketing because the
Yeah.
price of oil is skyrocketing because of an illegal, deeply stupid war. So
Yeah.
that's what's on people's minds. I think internet posts from 14 years ago are not the priority for folks, no matter how hard the establishment and the media apparatus is going to try to make it.
Let's talk about the war.
Called out. You got called out to your face, Manu.
Sometime soon to whether to continue to. There's probably going to be a vote sometime soon to whether to continue to fund this operation. If you were a senator up here, would you vote to defund, to defund?
Well, I guess he's also giving Graham a chance to address those questions. So I'm just so angry, like so pissed off nowadays. You know what I mean? It's like anytime I get a chance to like shit on these mainstream journalists, I'll take it. Even if it's not really called for or justified.
Of course.
But,
Look, I fought in Iraq. I did 2 deployments to Fallujah and Ramadi in the infantry. I've been very close to the realities of wars. And that was a war that never should have happened. And that we find ourselves here with another war that should not be happening. That is resulting in destruction and horror. All, frankly, on the taxpayers' dime. That is money that should be spent here in the United States on schools, on hospitals, on infrastructure. And if we cannot currently have a Congress that is willing to exercise its, I would say, constitutional duty around war powers, we certainly should be exercising our duty to not put money into a war that, from what I can tell, absolutely no one in the state of Maine wants. So,
Well, I mean, won't that leave troops in harm's way if you vote to defund this operation?
no, because the troops should just not be in harm's way. End the war. Bring people home. Stop bombing. We started this thing. We can end it. It is, I'm sorry, man. I fought in Iraq. In 2005 and 2006, several years after I was told we won that war.
Since 2010, World
it's
Central
accomplished. Remember that
in
moment?
response to climate.
Well, I guess most people I'm trying to talk to don't remember that at all. And it definitely was barely in our history. Well, if you're a Texan, it was barely in your history class, the Iraq War. It was like at the end of the fucking end of your senior, I don't know. You know, depended on the class, but maybe you learned about it at the end of your senior year, you know, or the end of your whatever. If you're if you're elder Gen Z like me.
And at that time, people were still pulling the whole, oh, well, how could we pull out? Wouldn't that
Or am I elder Gen Z? I guess I'm middle Gen Z, right? Because I was born in 2000. I don't know.
I was in the combat infantry. I could tell you that my life would be better if I had not had to fight in Ramadi in 2006. I very much wish we'd had a political apparatus then that had a spine and some backbone to make sure we don't send America's sons and daughters off to take part in horrific illegal violence. That, to me, is just absolutely unacceptable. And no, I do not think that we should fund it.
And like the super lefty ultras will just get on his ass and be like, "Nah, this guy sucks. He's a bad guy." It's like, you know, like I don't know. How do you not read? Like the people who shit on this guy have never talked to a real person. They just spent like a person that goes outside, you know, in the United States. They just talk to like their shut-in friends, you know.
That is illegal and not remotely in the interest of...
And you know, I'm calling myself out here because I'm a bit of a shut-in, but you know, I go to work. I talk to my coworkers, you know. I talk to organizers when I'm at events. I try to go to parties if I like the people there. And I think the music will be all right, you know?
of the American people. It's only in the interests of a political class that's trying to protect their hide, whether it's Donald Trump trying to get us all to not pay attention to him being in the Epstein files, or
You think that's why he launched this war?
I think it's a mix of that, and Benjamin Netanyahu finally found a president that was sucker enough to launch the war that he's been pushing for 30 years. But yeah, those are the reasons why.
And speaking of Israel, do you think that the U.S. should stop aiding Israel, should pull back on aid to Israel?
Yes, I mean, I fundamentally believe that a nation
Should I go
that's
grift at these,
should not be a place that we are putting money. We should be.
I guess I could do self-promo for my YouTube channel. Never mind. I gotta shut up. I'll stop talking about myself. Okay, let me scroll back.
Aiding Israel, should pull back on aid to Israel.
Yes, I mean, I fundamentally believe that a nation that is committing a genocide should not be a place that we are putting money. We should be leveraging the fact that we have a lot of power in this relationship due to our funding. We should be leveraging that to, frankly, get the Israeli government to stop behaving in such an utterly atrocious fashion. So yes, no, I do think. Look, we need to be spending money here at home. This country is, in Maine, it is falling apart. Our healthcare system in Maine is collapsing as we speak. I live in rural Maine. We are watching our hospitals close. It is difficult for me to watch that, watch people struggle with housing, watch people struggle with just heating their homes this winter, and then watch us send billions upon billions of dollars overseas to kill people. That is a disconnect that I think most Americans absolutely understand and want to see change.
They said that Iran would have had a nuclear weapon if Trump did that. Do you not believe that?
Dude, he is like choking on the bullshit there. That is so funny. It's Iran had a nuclear weapon. Do you believe that? No. They had a fatwa, dude. And they never tried building a nuclear weapon. They only tried enriching the uranium and building power plants so they could maybe get more leverage out of negotiations. Trump just made it more justifiable for Iran to build a nuclear weapon. That's all Trump did. Like, come on, dude.
Summer, I was told, after years and years and years of being told that Iran was only weeks away from a nuclear weapon, I was told that with only being weeks away, that we had...
And then Graham took like a perfect pause there. I just want to go back because I feel like Graham's reaction was perfect. Like, he was like, "Are you serious, dude?" Like, that's what he's thinking, but he's still got to be a politician about it.
Americans absolutely understand and want to see change.
They said that Iran would have had a nuclear weapon if Trump did that. Do you not believe that?
It took like 2 seconds to pause and be like, "Oh, all right."
Last summer, I was told...
All right, I guess he's just, well, he knows that they weren't building a nuclear weapon, I think, based off that reaction. But he's just gonna, he's gonna try to message around like Americans who are violently propagandized into believing they were.
After years and years and years of being told that Iran was only weeks away from a nuclear weapon, I was told that with only being weeks away, that we had fully obliterated all of Iran's nuclear capacity or building capability. So either someone lied then.
My heart's fine.
I'm only 40. Ignoring your heart health risk is no way to go through the...
Or some...
Oh no, dude, I gotta take my Apple Watch off, I swear. That's the reason I'm getting these ads. They're spying on me, dude.
Someone's lying now. So no, I do not believe it. In fact, it's rather laughable.
Or I gotta change my carnivore diet a bit.
Department of Homeland Security shut
I gotta stop talking about myself again. Fuck me, dude. Sorry, video watchers.
Then, or someone is lying now. So no, I do not believe it. In fact, it's rather laughable, if I'm being honest.
So you're also here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he knows. How do you not like this guy, honestly? Like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Like the ultra lefties, like the woke, like, get over yourself.
Here during the Department of Homeland Security shutdown, we're seeing these lines, airport lines, all across the country. You were advocating the hardline strategy to block funding for DHS. Are you rethinking that strategy in any way, given what we're seeing in the airports nationwide?
No, the people that need to rethink it are the Republicans trying to give money to an agency that's been murdering American citizens and kidnapping people in the streets and detaining them illegally and unconstitutionally. They're the ones who have brought this upon us. Not funding an agency that breaks
Yes.
the law.
Like, please, can Democrats start saying this? Please. Please. Like, why is he the only one putting it in words this frankly? Like, Greg Kazar knows what's happening. Why is he too afraid to talk about it? Like, your district's secure, bro. You're not gonna lose an election because, like, because the liberals are like, oh, he's too far left. You know? Like, Greg Kazar, please start saying this.
Kills American citizens, frankly, seems like the rather normal thing to do. The fact that they want to drop.
Or any Democrat. Tallarico, too. Well, Tallarico's messaging is alright. He's very soft spoken about it.
Out and create some kind of chaos in airports and use it as a political weapon is utterly absurd.
You're up here talking to senators. A lot of them don't think that you're the best candidate. Actually, most of them probably don't think you're the best candidate, including the Democratic leaders. Think that Janet Mills is battle tested. She could win. What do you say to them?
They should read the polls.
She's still tested. Yeah, that's why she fucking cowers in Blaine Manor all day and just puts out ads attacking his old internet posts. Yeah, that's what battle tested is. Bro, he's literally been in combat, right? Like, he's literally battle tested. Like, what are you? That is such a dumb line, bro. What the fuck?
And they should come to Maine and talk to people, because clearly they've done neither. So.
Are you going to meet with Chuck Schumer when you're here?
No.
Okay. No plans to.
No.
And I'll let you go. One last question. You talked to me last time we talked about how impeachment.
Sad, bro.
Impeach and convict.
I'm using the internet subculture memes. He's mogging Manu.
How does that play on the campaign trail? Is that what voters want to hear right now?
This is my thing with impeachment. If we can convict, we should impeach. We've already impeached multiple times. If it's going to take air or energy out of holding people accountable through investigations, through committee hearings, I don't think we should waste our breath. I do think that if we can get to a place where we can impeach, then we absolutely should. I mean, the president has broken the law. I mean, we would be here all day if we just went through the list. So I do think, of course, that's deserving of impeachment and removal. But in the real world, dealing in reality, I think it is far more important that we hold folks accountable in the ways that are going to be most effective than simply dragging out an impeachment fight again if we know full well that there will be no conviction. But if we can get enough votes, then absolutely, we should impeach and convict.
Yeah, okay. Did you want to talk about the pro?
Yeah, be strategic and pragmatic about this stuff. You don't want the fucking system to collapse. You know, we're not at that level. We're not there, you know? Like, he should get impeached in a just world, but we don't live in a just world. We live in America, you know?
It's an issue that, a labor issue with Janet Mills. Was there a Janet Mills? I'm curious, what do you think is the biggest dividing line between you two? Is it less on labor issues?
I would say there are three major issues. One is labor. I'm very much a pro-labor candidate. I think the PRO Act must be passed. I think we need to strengthen organized labor in this country. We need to get a National Labor Relations Board that is back to, well, one, basically functioning, but two, is going to show up as an honest broker, not simply representing management, which frankly for quite some time, despite a little while into the Biden administration, that's kind of what we've seen for decades at this point.
Yeah, the only significant pro-labor things I remember from Biden are like him showing up at that picket line for the UAW auto workers. That was in Michigan, right? I don't know. Doesn't really matter where it was. And him appointing Lena Khan to the SEC. Right, that was her position, whatever. But she went after Amazon pretty hard, and the corpos did not like that, which is why Kamala was debating replacing her while the election was happening. That was a thing that was going on around the rumor mill, at least. And yeah, and ultimately she did get replaced by Trump because Trump is a corpo. Corrupt corpo pedo. Pedo corpo corrupto. What other O's can I put in there? Fatso. Anyway.
Essentially every single piece of pro-labor legislation that's ever come across your desk. That to me does not show a commitment to protecting and frankly expanding organized labor. Tribal sovereignty. I am a firm believer that the Wabanaki nations in the state of Maine deserve the exact same recognition federally as all other 570 tribes.
Oh, hell yeah.
They do not get it right now because of a 1980 law that the governor, both as AG and as governor, has fought tooth and nail to keep from being overturned.
Yep.
Again, that does not show a commitment to extending to the Wabanaki nations in Maine what I think is very much their due, because they are nations, and we.
My internet getting slammed.
Many treaties with them over the years. And then last but not least is I think fundamentally we have to tax the rich. And the governor has vetoed
the big three.
In the state of Maine that passed the House
At
and
least,
Senate bills
yes.
by Republicans.
Well, yeah, the big three, if you want to appeal to everyone, I think, is doing this. You can appeal to any worker through being like, hey, you deserve more rights and more pay. You can appeal to liberals who are, you know, fat cats that are just clueless fat cats, you know, protecting the house. Through the tax the rich stuff. You can appeal to the left through the tribal sovereignty stuff, at least. How do you appeal to Republicans? You talk like he does. How do you appeal to right-wingers, though? Speak in the way that he does, okay? And if you want to appeal to religious people, speak in the way Tallarico does. But yeah. Anyway.
How rich? Which are their income levels? What?
You. We're taxing you, Manu. You get paid too much, honestly. You do. I'm not even kidding about that, though. Well, I should say I'm kidding about that, but yeah, I'm not. We are taxing you, millionaire fake reporter.
What do you support in terms of
Fake news reporter.
There was one, we're going to create 3 new tax brackets. Just 3 new tax brackets.
I don't know how much he makes, but I assume he's a millionaire.
Those making, I forget the exact number, but I think it was like $250,000 above. Completely reasonable. Vetoed it. And to me, that mostly just shows a lack of commitment to using the tax code to deal with the what I think is one of the core problems in this country right now, which is massive wealth inequality. So on those three issues, I think we're fundamentally at odds on policy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Time to go. Say that. It's up here. Do you see that? Susan Collins is supporting that.
Yes. It is.
He's not pressed at all, bro. This title. I just mean, like, these are the questions Manu thought he was. I don't know. Forbes. Maybe the Forbes reporters think he's pressed because they're all psychotic, like, right wingers for the most part, losers. But yeah, this is like the most chill, laid back interview I've seen on like Capitol Hill. I swear, or one of them.
I would want to say it's surprising, but it isn't. Not to me. It's a shame to see that the senator is going to go along with the will of the Trump administration and a party that I think right now is getting very worried about its midterm chances, and that is why it is trying to restrict people's access to the ballot. I also would say it's very much at odds with the will of the people of Maine, because I don't know if you know this, but in November, our last election, the people of Maine soundly defeated Question 1, which was another mechanism of restricting people's voter access, primarily absentee ballots in the state of Maine, which a lot of people rely on. We beat that thing. Well over 60% of the state voted against it. We were very proud to be part of the campaign to defeat it. That just happened. It's very clear that the people of Maine want to protect access to the ballot, not restrict it. And so to watch the senator just blindly follow the Republican Party and trying to attack democracy, I think
He's giving her too much credit here. She's just grifting, bro. She's not blindly following this stuff. She's just a do-nothing corrupt politician. That's, just like most of these senators. That's why you don't know their names, or like, it's why the average, like, person forgets their name after they run for office. The average American forgets their elected's name right after they run for office, because they just, put out the ads to get into office and then do whole lot of nothing for the most part.
with the will of her constituents.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Perfect interview. Amazing job, Graham. I don't need to tell him that though. Anyway. Yeah, no notes. That was great. You know, this is the type of stuff that gets me through the days now. Nowadays. Anyway, if you like that video, you could hit the subscribe button for me and the bell, and then you'll get to see whatever other BS I upload to YouTube. Anyway, like and subscribe, please. I need help. I don't know how to edit videos. So if you like and subscribe, maybe I'll be able to put more time and effort into this thing. So that I know I'm not just falling flat on my face, but whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna stop begging. Please like and subscribe. My Grifteon is in the description, or no, it's not. It's in my YouTube About page. If you feel like donating to my, I don't even know. I haven't checked it. My Patreon, I keep calling it a Grifteon. Anyway, like and subscribe is all I ask. That'll be doing me a huge favor. Okay, pieces, YouTubers.